Guys, welcome to the pregame show. It's brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. I'm Texas Homer, joined by the wonderful Justin Wells, the knowledgeable Coach Dub. This is where we just hang out for an hour and talk, frankly. And it's awesome. You know, another place where you can learn everything about Texas football. You can join for just $1 for your first week and get a full year of access to The Athletic. Boys, I'm having my wife went to San Antonio for the day for a family thing. On the couch, man. It's been real nice. All right. Just watching football. It has been real nice, gentlemen. What's up, Lane? What's up, Lane? And we are definitely not watching OU Auburn out of the corner of our eyes because we are professionals, guys. We would never do something like that. So we'll just guess what you guys are talking about. Those refs,
updated viewers. That's one of the reasons we love doing this and interacting with you guys, because you keep us posted on some of these scores. That actually drums up the conversation, and actually you're contributing to this wonderful channel.
Absolutely. And man, these refs in this game are brutal.
Oh man, they're bad.
And they've single-handedly been involved themselves in 21 points. Like it's wild.
It's like Kevin Mars got like 19 siblings.
Dude,
they're all terrible at their job.
You can't get this crew, man. This is a horrific crew. Like, first off, the illegal substitution play they get away with. Then they in the early
we ran that middle school, by the way, and got flagged for it.
Yeah, it's insane. Yeah. And then they overturned the not the pick six, but whenever they picked it up and returned it. And if you're going to overturn what you call, it better be damn clear.
Right.
And then the DPI, which I didn't even have to watch the replay. As it happened live, I was like, that's DPI. And I don't know how they missed that, man. And so
I think they made up for it on the next one. But then again, I went back and watched, and Guillory had a good tug of the jersey for a good, 2 or 3.
Yeah, he did.
And hey, Charlie, you and I know Cortland. We covered this kid. He was close to Texas in his recruitment. But he has been the weak link that Hugh Freeze and Jackson Arnold, they have been going after. And don't forget, Cam Coleman is a future NFL All-Star.
I was going to say, a lot of people are weak links versus Cam Coleman.
Yeah.
But Cortland Guillory was one of my favorite recruits. He's a good kid, and I think he's going to turn into be a good player. They're just taking advantage of him being a freshman. What do you think, Coach?
I like him a lot. I mean, look, it's tough. Like, he's versus Cam Coleman, right? Like, who's going to win that matchup majority of the time? Cam Coleman is. I think he's shown why he's that guy. And so it's tough for a freshman and Guillory being out there on the island. And BV continues to put him on the island too. That's the main thing. Like, maybe he has trust in this young kid. I don't know, but I wouldn't stick him out there versus Cam Coleman. You better go back and get 3 high defense, buddy, or something. But no, man, look, he's in the fire. Either he's going to grow from this or he's going to shrink. So kind of getting to know Guillory though a little bit. I don't think he'll shrink, but that's a tough job, man, for such a freshman. But in the 3rd, 4th game, that's very tough.
Man, Jackson Arnold is one of the slowest processors I've ever seen. I mean, and I remember when he was at Geyer, because I'm in Denton, and I would hear those things. But it's like, I mean, he's just not a lot going on up there, man. Like, it's just you can throw to Cam Coleman or you can run.
Right.
And Freeze has to realize that, man. And he's done a little bit of it. Mateer taking a shot. He gets it. Oh, we'll see if they caught it. But, man, not a big Jackson Arnold fan. And
I actually think Arnold could still grow into be a good quarterback and potentially an NFL quarterback. I think he has every single tool. I do think a lot of it's between the ears. We're up and from the area he's from. We've watched him get thrown into the mix in the state championship as a freshman or a sophomore, and he took the bullets. I've seen him at practice. I've seen Peyton Bowen pick him at practice, and the reason why is because I felt like they put all the good athletes on defense when Jackson was there, and he was kind of the best offensive weapon they had. I think this kid, he's got a great arm. I think he could turn into a quarterback one day. I just think he's one of those that's going to have a longer curve. It's just going to take him longer. When he's got receivers like this in Auburn, this is how you do it. If you are that quality, can play at the next level, you'll get the ball to Cam Coleman, to Eric Singleton, and some of these other guys. I still believe in Jackson Arnold.
I don't.
I had my doubts before. I didn't think he was a 5-star. I had him as a 4-star, but I still believe in him.
I mean, I think he has a fit. I think all the physical tools are there. I don't think the upstairs is there. Like, that's like at all. Like,
I'm with you.
Yeah, and so that's where it's like, I think his body can do whatever, but I don't think his mind can. So he's maybe 10 years in the league and a lot of study, but like, look at him over the middle of the field, guys. He has no clue. I don't even think he's looking at anything. I think he's just carnival music's playing, dude.
But that's not the kind of quarterback he is. Like, man, why are they making him do that? I don't know. Like, let him get rid of the ball quick on the perimeter, run him.
He's
like,
a
let him
one-read kid.
I thought he just wanted to get his old buddy Mason R. Thomas a sack because he's like, I'm waiting on you, buddy. You gonna come hit me or not? And it's kind of like he's coming. He's coming, Jackson. Run.
He has, but just no awareness. Like to think as a quarterback, you can stand still for 4 seconds ever is pretty wild.
Especially in the 7-on-7 era where that 4-second buzzer will go off
Exactly. All right. Here's some of my keys. I say what we want to see. These guys haven't even seen these, but just trust me, it's what we want to see. Here's the offensive side. I want to see the scheme pared down a little bit. Let's focus on what we're good at on the offensive line, those kind of things. That's a big thing. I think we've been throwing a lot and a lot of guys, and I don't think that'll change this week. I think we're still going to play a lot of depth, but we can't figure this out versus Florida. Like what we're about to go on a bye. Like this is the week we have to start honing in on what we are before SEC play. This isn't a time to keep experimenting. So that's a big thing for me. O-line playing with aggression. Man, these little lines, like they're trying harder than our offensive line consistently. And so their aggression has been poor and their knowledge of especially zone has been really bad. Like there's often they'll get beat across their face, but there's plenty of reps where they don't block anyone. They just kind of step into the void and look around. So I need to see aggression. I need to see understanding of the scheme because, man, this line has been frankly embarrassing with its play this whole season. Better versus Ohio State at time. Arch performs well. What does Arch performs well mean to y'all? To me, it's 65% completion percentage. And this is the worst secondary in FBS football. For EPA per dropback, the worst one in the country. You can't play a worse team than this.
I want 500 yards passing.
You should
That's
damn
not
near,
too much to ask.
You should damn near be close, though.
Yeah, right.
I want 500 yards passing, and I want it divvied up equally, okay? I want Ryan Wingo to get 100. I want Parker Livingston to get 100. I want Khalil Lockett to get 100. I want Jack Indries to get 100. And I want – you ready for this one?
Spread out, okay.
I'm ready for James Simon to get him 100 out of the backfield, okay? So 500 yards, but they have to be to 5 guys specifically. That's what we need to see tonight, in part.
Coach, what actually, with your coaching eye, what do you need to see from Arch?
I just need to see some time and some rhythm with some of the main guys while they're in there. I think that's the biggest thing. I need those guys, him and Wingo, same page. I need to know who his third down guy is consistently because he's going to need him going into SEC play. I don't think they know who it is because I definitely don't know who the third down guy is. Who does he go to on third down, right? And so like if there's any game you're going to get that figured out and get some confidence, it's this game. So hopefully he finds that. But I just want to see rhythm, consistency from his offense. And I want to see the offensive line bully somebody. You can't push these guys around. I'm going to watch every game like this the rest of the season because it's Sam Houston State.
You might be watching it like that anyway.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's rough, man.
All right. We want to see something smooth. We want to see your typical, hey, it's 14-0, 6 minutes into the first quarter. The Horns just finished off a 5-play, 65-yard drive. That's what you want to see as a fan. And I think that's probably what you want to see if you're A.J. Milwee and Kyle Flood, and that's damn sure what you want to see if you're Steve Sarkisian. Get some early points, get some early momentum, and then let your defense have fun. Not have to worry about pitching shutouts and field position, just pinning their ears back and creating violence.
You know what's crazy with the offense, too? Do you know what our average field position for the offense is nationwide? I'll tell you. 4th in the country. The defense has been giving us the ball averaging at the 37.
Dang.
You can't ask for better.
That's really good.
That's insane.
You can't ask for a better attempt at complementary football, right? The defense is serving the offense on a silver platter. Here you go, score 60.
Exactly.
And still with 4th in the country field position, we're seeing this. So that's another thing that freaks me out. All right, my next key. running backs follow their blocks and they see the holes. So we had some fun things from the young backs where, they make some nice cuts or break a tackle, but then they go rogue on these plays too. The famous one is the Clark is following his lead blocker for a big run, just decides to go outside, right? There's one where Jarek Gibson in the zone literally looks and steps at a wide open hole and then just decides to go outside. So
yeah.
This is what I need to see from our young backs because they show more physical promise than our starters as far as explosive traits. But our starters still, when they see a hole, will hit it. So that's going to be the big thing for running backs, Coach.
You summed that up. They're young. So I think the more reps they get, I think James Simon looks really, really good. I like him a lot. I feel like he's a patient runner even for a young guy. He still has a lot to grow too, right, as a young guy. But, man, you can just kind of see it, right? When he sees the hole, he's going to hit it, put his foot in the ground, get north and south quickly, and with some power too. So I thought he had a few runs maybe where he danced a little bit. But other than that, man, like I feel like the more reps he gets, he's going to earn more and more carries as the season goes because I feel like you can trust that kid, right? I feel like he's coming from a dad who's played NFL, coaches college, got an older brother like you guys mentioned before the show. I think James Simon just gets it mentally, and it just comes natural to him running the football.
Yeah, I thought he was the biggest bright spot of that second half. And I didn't notice any weird plays with him, like just doing really weird stuff. Whenever his runs would be bad, it's because the O-line didn't block.
Right.
And so, yeah, I think Simon has a bright future for us. He's one I'm really excited. Justin, do you have the injury report off the top of your head? Kind of what
I think we're going to see DeAndre Moore. The last time I saw was Cole Hudson might be doubtful to questionable tonight, so I wouldn't be surprised if something's there that Connor Robertson takes over the spot at center. Yeah. Trying to think. Obviously, Trey Wisner, I believe, is still out.
Yeah. Baxter as well.
Baxter, yeah. Well, yeah, CJ Baxter is going to be out for at least a couple more weeks. I think Florida is what Sark said that they're trying to look for him. And then it's not so much the guys that are hurt, it's the guys that are healthy now that we're going to see a little bit more of. And I got to tell you, I think the world is ready to see Jonah Williams play football.
Yeah.
And so, and I know you probably have a defensive side of what we want to see on this, so I'm not going to dive too much into Jonah Vark yet, but I'm telling you right now, that's from the injuries off the top of my head. That's the ones that I can think of right now. I think you're going to see a lot of young guys, but again, with an opponent like Sam Houston State, it's going to be the same thing that we've seen the last couple of Saturdays.
Yeah.
Alex January, he's another one that may not suit up.
All right, wide receivers make plays. That's something I want to see too. Of course, this is dependent on Arch, right? I'm not going to get on him if Arch is turfing it, but that's a big thing. The wide receivers, the Arch has slightly done them a favor because fans' ire can all turn to Arch. But It's not all Arch on the offense. There's offensive line issues, running back explosiveness issues, wide receivers need to develop, tight ends don't block well. Like Arches can take all the bullets because they're very obvious on what he does mess up. This whole offense needs to get better. They're not in sync. And then you'll see it, some of the overthrows of Arch or the underthrow might be because the receiver wasn't in the right spot.
That part.
There's a couple times on all 22 where Arch is actually trying to lead the receiver away from a defender, and the receiver doesn't get the message. And it looks like they're just like, man, Arch just missed that throw. And it's like, no, Arch is going to throw the ball directly into the defender. So the receivers have gotten off pretty light, but they still have a lot of work to do too. So there's basically what I want to see is the whole offense looks good.
Cohesion.
Yeah, cohesion. That's what everybody wants to see.
Yeah.
It's
timing. The timing works, and then like we said again, and Paul brought this is the worst secondary in the sport of college football. You cannot play a worse one.
Right.
Okay. So we need to see explosives. We need to see downfield. If we don't see that, not a great sign. So that's going to be the biggest thing.
I have a free safety for Sam Houston State. He played receiver all throughout high school. He's my kid. I love him dearly. He starts.
Yeah.
Tyler Bailey, he was a receiver at Prosper. So, I mean, look, I love the kid, but he never played defense before. Now he's starting safety.
Yeah.
He's going to have bad eyes. What are you going to do? You take advantage of him. I love you, Tyler, but hey, it's what it is. Like, we have to be on the same page. So.
We're on the other side now. Sorry, man.
Yeah.
but that's the reality. And they play a interesting scheme if they were good at it. but they're not good at it. And they play a 260-pound true nose, and they play two defensive ends like 250 pounds, but they don't just move them to 4-eye. Sometimes they're at 3-tech.
Right.
They have the slightest line you'll ever see. And so you have to be able to run and dominate in the run game, and you need to be able to be landing haymakers in the pass game. The whole point of preseason when you're not playing a big matchup is supposed to be fun. You're supposed to, you're supposed to score 50. You're supposed to not be pulling your hair out. So what I want to see is a fun game that doesn't appear to mean much because it's going so smoothly. Like that's what I'm trying to see in non-con. So those are my big keys for offense. Or anything I missed after talking about the entire offense?
No.
Cool.
All right, guys. Injuries.
Yeah, more Jack injuries. I agree. Yeah, get him.
When he's involved, things click a little bit better.
Yeah.
Do we get Arch moving early? Do we let?
You better.
Yeah.
You better.
Do we let
I
Arch?
was a big proponent of only run with Arch a little bit. Make him a primary pocket passer for the majority of the season so he doesn't take those beatings. But at this rate, let's just run triple option and then let him learn how to pass along the way. He's going to get it back. But, yeah, he's even mentioned it before. Sometimes it's worth getting popped in a game. I want to say Quinn Ewers even mentioned that before. Like, once you get hit, like sometimes the wiring starts to turn on and the game starts to become muscle memory and reps and all that kind of stuff. And this is the perfect opponent for Arch to kind of, bloom up out of that.
Right.
Yeah, the adrenaline gets going. It's like boxers. All right, that's the big thing. Before we keep going, we're going to talk defense next. But before we do that, Academy Sports and Outdoors.
Any gate can be a tailgate.
All righty, we're back. Defense is such a different story. So that's the nice part. What I want to see on the defensive side is no explosive runs. We've seen San Jose State as well as last week versus UTEP. We're primarily susceptible to a boundary run because of our cover 3 scheme. For you ball knowers, you watch the defensive film study, there's a reason why that part of our defense is more vulnerable than other parts. So I want to make sure not just explosive runs, because they do have a running back named Elijah Green who's really fast.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's one of those guys that if he does get open field, he's going to score. And that's one of the few kind of bright spots there for them. So that's what we need to focus on. I don't want to see any explosive runs. And that includes when, the second and third string comes in late in the game. So I want to see us hold that down. As far as defensive line terrorizing quarterbacks, so this is a screen quick offense. They're not throwing a ton of stuff down the field. So I don't mean sacks. These quarterbacks are nervous and they start to dance and they move around and you can just condense everyone on them. That's what I mean. Just shut these quarterbacks down, make them look as bad as they are playing. So it doesn't mean sacks, but the quarterbacks, I don't want more than 2 scoring drives. So if they get a touchdown, they can't get a touchdown and a field goal. If they get a field goal, they can't get a touchdown. Like, they should not be in scoring position more than twice, in my opinion. This is one of the worst teams in college football. They're 0-3. They've lost all 3 games by 17 points. It's just not a good team. I want to see several 3-and-outs to give the offense a million chances to work out our issues. Come out hot because, like I said, this team isn't good, so it's easy to come out kind of flat like San Jose State. I touched on it earlier. Depth players executed at a high level. I don't want them to score on the final drive of the game and take away my shutout or take away my 3 points. That drives me nuts. So that's what I want to see on defense. Defense is really easy. Keep doing their thing. And there's not a ton I can say about defense because they won't be tested in the pass game till later on. And that's what I want to see, a competent cornerback attacking us deep. That's the question of the defense. Question doesn't mean that we'll fail the test. It just means I need that answered because I don't know yet, because no one can do that. Homer, I call that defense a heavy wet blanket. Yep. Yeah, it should. We should have like 900 offensive plays with how it's going. Coach, what do you think about the defense?
I was going to say this. You have But a team like this with nothing to lose, I think you're going to see some trick plays that's going to help them get down the field. Like they're going to try something, especially when you play a lot of young guys who may not be as disciplined or whatever. I think that's when the trick plays are going to come in, the double passes and stuff like that. They're going to go all out for it, right? But I want to see, like you said, no explosive plays whatsoever. 3 and outs. I want to call some turnovers. This is like, let's get some momentum going, causing more turnovers, right? Make that be the feeling inside the defense room, like, hey, we're about to get turnover after turnover after turnover. Like, this is who we are. Work on that. This is the aim, to work on a lot of things that you preach and practice in every day in meetings. So I like 3 and outs, but I want turnovers, some big hits. Like, I need this team vibe. We're a defensive team. That's okay. But I need the defense to kind of just smother San Diego State. They don't belong on the same field as you. Make them feel their way from the very first snap. Don't give up nothing cheap and easy. And play a clean game. Like, this is a game to work on your technique corners and everybody else. No penalties, no cheap stuff to keep them on the field. I want to see just a clean game from us.
OU just got Auburn just got sacked for their 10th time.
Yeah, you got sacked
on 4th and 29, and it was a safety.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
Man.
Yeah.
But also, like Arnold, oh my God, man. It's 4th and 29. You taking a sack in your end zone is insane, man.
The sack he took before that was equally insane.
It was.
The third down, he could have just ran.
The good thing about this game with OU is they're going to get caught. Now, I don't know if Texas is going to catch them unless the offense figures out. My favorite thing this week was, OU's coverage sucks. They're letting receivers by them. I'm like, yeah, the inverse is we have to be really good at exploiting that, and we're not. So I don't know if it's going to be Texas. Not looking like it if this offense continues to be bottom 100 and everything. But
something Ian pointed out.
Somebody will catch them.
We're not going to leave the corners on the island versus Texas. We're getting straight Tampa 2-3 high versus them. We're not going. Oh, you out there by yourself against Wingo and Parker Livingstone? No. We're not going to see the same defense. So, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to see the flyover. I guarantee you.
All day long
for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, they're gonna do flyover. They're gonna blitz and they're gonna play disguise. But man, those refs robbed Auburn. That's crazy. But it was good to see this because OU showed a bunch of holes in their game. It's just I don't know if the Texas is gonna be the one that exposes those holes in the game.
Texas defense could.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oklahoma's offensive line can be pushed through the middle.
Yeah.
They've got some skill guys, too. They're definitely an upgrade from last year. You know, all those injuries really, really hurt them, held them back. And they've got some young guys. I really like Blaylock. I remember Charlie and I watched him. He's got a brother, I think, that Texas is recruiting as well, 2027, if I can remember correctly. And so I like those guys. But, I think the Texas defense matches up really well with this Oklahoma offense, especially the linebacker play that's going to have to spy material. And if you let Anthony Hill and/or Ty Anthony Smith and/or Leona Lafau spy that quarterback, I like Texas' chances in that matchup.
I was going to say offense versus defense.
Yeah. I'm not talking about the game. You know what's crazy is we sent this in our chat a couple days ago. You can bet right now at betgm.com. If you can bet right now, Texas is 10.5-point favorite on a
versus OU.
Site.
Yeah.
And now I'm starting to become a proponent of Vegas should establish the preseason rankings.
Yeah.
They know so much more than everybody else, and that's always been the case. But no, I just thought that was funny.
Yeah, that is a weird one. And our Texas defense could shut down Mitsier and have a great day. But if you hold them to 0 and we score 0,
yeah,
you know. So it's that thing that's going to be a big factor. But it was good to see some of the weaknesses of OU.
The corners. I like the safety play. I know Charlie saw some stuff. I like Peyton Bowen. I think he's a playmaker. I think he's smart, instinctive, kind of knows where to be at all the times. But and Kip Lewis, I just think he has developed such a good football player. I remember him in high school. Such a good dude. Kind of took a chance on Oklahoma, and they've developed him, and he winds up playing well. And so they got some guys on that side of the ball. But those corners, some of it's Cam Coleman, but those corners, they're playing some young guys out there.
They are.
And that could, if Arch can catch hot, if he can get some momentum, that's the matchup you want to see in 3 weeks.
Sure. And I don't think we see most. We might see Guillory, but some of the other guys they play, I don't think you see versus us because maybe they're back, especially Bowen's little brother. Eli is probably back. And then, I think this is Gentry's first game back. Like he's getting in the mix. So they got some DBs that's been banged up.
Right.
I think you're gonna see a different rotation of corners out there by the time you play it, except Guillory.
Yeah. What do y'all know what's going on with Ott over there? What their shiny running back that they were supposed to have? What's
Jaden Ott?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's a mystery.
It is.
He's got to be being a nightmare behind the scenes or something, man, because it makes no sense why he's not playing.
And Blaylock is carrying the load. Freshman, man,
they can't run in the interior. Everything is like trying to get to the edge, and the same with Ott. Like I broke down his stats through his success through which gap, and he's all outside. Like as long as you keep guys on the perimeter, you can shut Ott down too, and he's a good player. But his whole thing, he's a walking tell about where the ball's going to go. So it's pretty wild. But man, I'm watching Jackson Arnold. God, man, he's 10 sacks. It's like horrific. That's like they just set a school record on him.
Yeah,
I wonder, with Hugh Freeze, I wonder how long they do that, because they've got a very good young quarterback waiting in the wings on a very high tab.
I was just about to say
right now. And so I wonder when that conversation starts to come up. Did y'all get to see Hammond at Tech today?
Oh my God! Hey,
he was balling, dude. I was like, and I'm talking balling for college. Like he was making NFL throw. There was one where he rolled out right and just slung it to the tight end. I was like, whoa, man!
He threw a flag to one of the receivers, and the DB should have knocked it down, but the receiver I think made as good a play as he did. Funny enough, the touchdown pass where I believe it was Terrence Carter Jr. that was wide open. That thing was a duck. Like that thing was wobbling and wibbling and all those kind of things. But you know what? It got to where it needed to when it needed to. That's a big win for Texas Tech, because going into Utah has always been kind of not an easy task for anybody. Utah's never going to blow you out, but you rarely get up on them when they do. And so you got to give those guys credit. I think Tech played really well. Will Hammond, you're right. Like he threw a lot of good balls. Probably after the second drive, third drive is when you kind of saw him start to get comfortable. And this is a kid that, he threw the ball a lot in Central Texas. I believe it was at Hutto. A ton. I bet Eli Reinhardt, the coach there, would absolutely love to have him right now. But here's the thing. Baron Morton took a really bad hit, and we don't know the extent of that injury, but I'm just going to presume that one's tough. And does Will Hammond take over now? Because the offense looked pretty, I'm not saying better, but
it looked better. They started scoring
down the field. He's not the athlete that Morton is, but he gets the ball vertically down the field really well. Yeah. Tech is right now, I think Tech might be the best team in the Big 12, because Arizona State's all of a sudden become kind of a question mark. Yeah. And, I'm not real sure where you go from there.
TCU looks good, though. I will say that.
TCU has got to be your other one.
That's the only,
because Josh Hoover's the best-looking quarterback in the Big 12 right now.
He's finally grew up, and looks like
he looked good last year too, but he looks really good.
He looks really good this year. Yeah.
And we got to watch him at Rockwall. I remember covering him in high school. Him when he played for Heath, and when they played against Braden Locke in Rockwall High, it was like an instant classic. They went like 4 or 5 overtimes. It was in the 70s, and if they had a Wi-Fi signal there, I could have tweeted it out. And it was a fun night. And I just remember Hoover, because Hoover was also, if you remember, a baseball prospect. I want to say either his older brother or younger brother was a Division I guy. And so Hoover's always kind of been that competitor. And I think TCU looks fantastic. They're sneaky. Who's the OC there?
Who is OC right now? Oh, Leftwich? Oh, you're talking TCU. My bad.
TCU. Yeah. Talking about Kendall Browse. Y'all better watch out. You give him some toys and speed.
I was excited about Leftwich to Tech. He went to Denton Ryan for a year before he moved. His dad was a coach and he was a quarterback. Then he moved to Oklahoma. But Leftwich, the OC for Tech, he's a real cool dude. So I've been watching him come up through the ranks and then at State and all that. I think he's going to be a really bright offensive mind too.
Same for offensive tackle Josh Cochran. Their offensive line coach is the former OT offensive starting left tackle at Texas, Josh Cochran. Another really, really good guy. I think he's one of the reasons they're planting a flag in East Texas. Grew up in Hallsville. He was always a great guy, great coach.
Yeah. Lane. So this is when we were referencing. It's actually Coach Dub's article. So Homer, you said a Sam Houston guy said our O-line has a tell. Ever figure out what it was? I bet he didn't tell Coach. Maybe I'll tell you post game, but
yeah, I may tell you post game.
Yeah, but
well,
you can at least tell me post game. Don't tell the chat, but it was a coach's article. He talked to somebody at Sam Houston, and they kind of just said what they were looking for versus Texas. But one of the things they hinted at is the Texas O-line has a tell. So we'll see what that is. All right, we got the depth chart up on Inside Texas on the Twitter. And so what's interesting, first things first, we get Arch Manning to start, Caldwell. Then we have Lacey and then Owens. I wonder, are they going alphabetically by the last name with that or is Trey Owens really at the bottom?
I don't see an or.
Yeah, there is.
It's right. I see the or. No, I think they would go with Lacey.
Okay. So that's interesting. And then Gibson or Clark, and then James Simon. So we're going to see a lot of them today. Livingston, French, and DeAndre, Niblett, or McCutcheon. Okay. Wingo, Lockett, Butler. Everything looks to be in order here, fellas.
Yeah.
Cole Hudson or Connor Robertson. Okay. DJ Campbell, Brandon Baker. So we expected, I think it was Eric that reported, we expect to see some Kibble, expect to see some Brooks, that stuff too, getting young guys reps. It's tough, man. Left guard's a really tough position for me because I personally don't think Stroh's up to starter caliber, but
not yet. I think he could get there. I just don't think he's there yet. And I think Cole Hudson, if they felt, Connor Robertson could take over center where Cole Hudson could play left guard, and this would work. But it also makes them even smaller up front, up the middle. And I know how much, that Flood doesn't like that path. And so I kind of understand it. But when you've got an athletic, versatile guy like Cole Hudson, you're just trying to find the best five out there.
Right.
Yeah. So you can over on the defensive side, I think Ethan Burke's having a great year. And then the guy right behind him, Lance Jackson. Anytime you turn on the All-22 and he's making plays. Like, that's a first rounder. Like, he's bull rushing guys. Like, Lance Jackson looks awesome, like, on the reps that he's in. So that's huge for me anytime I see 40 out there. We got Zena as well. Zena makes plays too, man. Like, there was plays on the All-22 where Melvin Hills at defensive tackle was in, and he was making plays. Like, the whole defensive line, I don't worry about any of the depth there. I've been super impressed with pretty much any time a defensive lineman's on the field, what I've seen from them.
I think the depth gives them a huge advantage.
Right.
I agree, 1,000%. Yeah. And you see it in the All-22. They just look well coached, man. And then outside linebacker, defensive end, Colin Simmons. Colin's not going to have the day to get a bunch of sacks once again. Like, this offense is throwing screens or just whatever. So I think we'll still have to kind of wait on that. I know that's got to be frustrating for Colin, but not a lot of drop back teams we faced yet.
Yeah, and I wrote something about Colin too. What people don't really realize, last year he was more like a relief pitcher. He got 30% of the snaps. He got to come in and rush the quarterback, pin your ears back. Now he has to play the bulk of the snaps. He has to play the run. He has to take wrong shoulder to pull in guard. Like, he has to play football, situational football, more than just situational football. So I think he's learning. He's gonna get beat up, like playing hand in the dirt, taking on linemen every single day. Where last year you had Barron, Sorrell, and other guys beat up the offensive line. Then you got to come in all fresh and just take off. This year, so he's gonna be fine. He'll grow. He's fine. It's transition.
Yeah. Also, they're aware of him, right? Last year, they weren't aware of him. Like, if you watched Ohio State, a lot of the times in passing downs, the tight end was motioned to wherever Colin Simmons was. And so they were double teaming Simmons as well. So it's like the word's out on you. They're not dropping back to pass. And on top of that, you're playing full-time defensive end, right? So it's like it's a big change. But that's the NFL. I mean, that's what you're going to have to do. Linebackers as well. Did your source key in on linebackers? I know the UTEP source said the linebackers look awesome. I can't remember from your article.
Just not much. I mean, they fly to the ball, make plays. LaFau was pointed out, but They just fly to the ball. Look, all those guys in the front eat up all the blocks, so they kind of roam free and make plays, and so it really wasn't much on the defense too much. They just fly around to the ball. Texas is big, they're fast. It reminded me of Friday Night Lights, the movie. Coach, they're big, they're fast, they're strong. Coach, they're big, you know?
Yeah,
that's what they see on film. So,
well, LaFau, there's one that we did on the Tuesday film study with Paul and Ian where LaFau steps up and has to take on a guard. And he looks awesome there too. LaFau's had an incredible season so far. He saved a touchdown in the San Jose State game in the double slants in the end zone. He batted the ball because both of they're up against Littleton, and Littleton got beat across his face by Scudero. So, like, LaFau's one of those players that's all over the tape, and you can't appreciate it from the broadcast. Like, my eyes always go to Lance Jackson. They always go to LaFau. Like, those aren't necessarily known stars. Yeah, it just shows how good the coaching is on that side of the ball. The development is on that side of the ball. I've just loved what the defense has been able to do so far. And then Trey Moore is always interesting, how they're able to utilize him at that Sam spot. You know, they'll have him way out there like a nickel. You know, he can be in the box. They do a lot with Trey. And all that tells me is that that's a smart, responsible player because they let him do a lot in this game. And then we have –
it looks like Alex January is dressed. We don't know how much he's going to play, but Joe Cook just reported that Alex January is dressed.
Okay, cool. And then this week we're going to see if there's any changes here. Still saying Littleton at star, but we expect to see Littleton get some reps, right, at a new position this week.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him playing some corner.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Warren Roberson is not dressed. He's not going to play. That's another corner safety nickel guy. Xavier Fulsame is the same way.
Okay. He got in versus Ohio State. Saw that in all 22 too. So it's going to be nice to see Grayson Littleton at what's going to be his future spot, right? So we want to see what he can do at corner. They nailed that too. We were hearing all offseason how special he was, and they did that. Now, if you watch all 22, he still does some freshman stuff sometimes. It's not all good and not all perfect. Sounds good, Coach. And so it's not all easy stuff there, but he still looks damn good. Coach had to run off real quick.
I like it.
Yep.
I like it.
All right. So nothing crazy with the depth chart, but we do expect to see a lot of younger guys today. That makes sense for non-conference because it's hard to get all these reps to people once you get into SEC play.
It is, and those reps get cut in half. Let's not forget that. Those things get cut in half. And so that's part of it as well. And that's what you want to see from these guys. It was the same last couple of years. We got to see more of the younger guys in the first month of the season. We understand Sark's going to trim the bench. And so I think you definitely want to see a little bit more out of the first team guys. Just so you feel a little bit better going – because you're going into a bye. You know, this is a perfect game to go into a bye in that sense.
Got your bodyguard. What's up, Rebel? Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? I like his blank expression. All right.
He's thinking something. He just won't say it out loud.
He seems a little judgmental, but he'll be good. All right. What are your thoughts on deferring the football? Seems like it would be great if we let the defense take the field first. What's that? Fanatic Perspective on his show was saying a stat that I had no clue of. But like we haven't scored. We've scored on like just a few opening drives since 2023 or something. So I got to update my narrative of Sark's opening script is great because the numbers do not point to that right now, which is also interesting. So I think you defer. The trick is embracing the defensive teamness of us. What do you think, Justin?
You know, it's funny. I've always, you build philosophies over the years in different things, different sports, different coaching. I've always come up to the conclusion that I would always defer. And the reason why is because, one, you're so jazzed up pregame. You're so revved up for kickoff. You've worked out. You've done everything. You've worked stuff up. Unleash it with controlled chaos rather than trying to be precise and trying to do this or that. I like the idea of that first punch coming from your defense. And I also love the idea of getting the ball back to begin the second half. Because if you're winning, you can go into that locker room and say, hey, we can start it back over 0-0. We have the ball, or we can put this game away with this first drive because we have the ball in the second half. If you're going into halftime down, that can be a big selling point. Look, we got the ball to start the second half. Let's get some momentum. That drive could be something that actually brings you out of it. So just from a philosophical standpoint, I've always been a fan that says you should defer. Let the defense go first. I think there's some built-up anxiousness. I think in all that's a defensive thing that you can unleash, whereas your offense needs to be a little bit more precise and a little bit more cool.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. I haven't thought of it that way, and I agree. But even particularly with this team, I want to embrace being a defensive team. Like that, I'm okay with a little bit more ball control if we still continue to see struggles. I'm okay with making that the identity of this team. It's quietly been the identity of this team in the Sarkisian era. So I'm cool with giving them the ball, and I think it's a great point that the defense can play more hair on fire than the offense can. But before we keep going, Justin, guess what? Huddle up, football fans. Tailgate season is here, and nobody gets Texas ready for game day like Academy Sports and Outdoors. Swing by your local Academy store or shop online at academy.com to find grills, canopies, jerseys, and more. Be a watch party legend with gear from top brands like Nike, Adidas, and Under Armour at undefeatable prices every single day. Fun can't lose, and neither can you with tailgate gear from Academy. Academy Sports and Outdoors is the official sporting goods and outdoor retailer of the SEC. What are you typing on, brother?
I'm doing some work. Doing some work behind the scenes. Yeah.
You got any work on this? Mr. Wells, lot visit looks good. No, we've stayed in contact with him. Do we still see him as a wide receiver?
They do. And part of it's because he's had a ridiculous stat line through the first 4 games of the season this year. He's averaging a touchdown every other catch. It's crazy. I think he's in the 600 yards already, maybe 11, 12 touchdowns. It's been absolutely nuts. And if you haven't been able to watch the team the last 3 weeks, that wide receiver room needs some explosiveness in this class of 2026. And so he's always been a priority. And yes, they still see him as a wide receiver. And I will don't forget this. Obviously people know about his dad and that he's a Texas legacy. But guys, this kid almost committed to Texas last January as a corner. And I had always thought this is where he would excel, like in the NFL, would be corner. I thought he was always kind of a typical. I was wrong. This kid is doing things on offense that is so high-level D1, it's not even funny. I think he can do – I'm still a proponent of him playing corner, but I think he is a receiver. Texas wants him at wide receiver. As soon as Terry Joseph took the job to New Orleans, Chris Jackson picked up the slack on the Jalen Lott recruitment, and it became a wide receiver recruitment. And honestly, I think Lott's the type of kid, he could show up and they could say, well, we want to start you here, or we want to play you here, and Lott wouldn't blink. He wouldn't say a word. He would just go where he wanted to go. But just seeing how explosive he's been this year on offense, he was always a priority for Texas. That's been amped up in the last 3 weeks. And we feel good at Inside Texas that Texas is doing a really good job, making sure there's still a heartbeat there and making sure that Lott knows how much of a priority he is at Texas. Hey, they'll take one more receiver. This class doesn't need another one. But when you've got the number 1 player in the state whose dad wore the orange, who almost committed to Texas almost 9 months ago, guess what? Texas is not going to let up.
Yeah, that's a no-brainer. And then –
good question, Josh. Always appreciate you, brother.
Especially when they commit to go somewhere that far out of state that early, you're kind of like, hey, wait, you might get a little.
Remember how fast that turned?
Yeah,
it was after an unofficial visit to Oregon, and it just in like 8 days.
Oregon can do that to you, though.
Yes, they can. They don't like it when we say that.
Yeah,
they don't like it. The coaches hate it. Their media hates it. I don't care.
Yeah. Oregon can change the dynamic. Really, they're one of the. I'm paranoid about those visits. I don't like to hear any recruit, like any high-profile guys going to Oregon. I immediately am like,
why?
Yeah,
it's unreal.
Yeah, well, I've heard it's awesome.
It's an Oregon official visit is different than any other official visit.
I've heard it's super cool, man. Like, yeah,
it's like I've had players describe it as like a spaceship, state of the art, outer space type. Like it's so nice. Oregon's a dangerous place. I'll just tell you that. Oregon, you get up there, and sometimes they don't let you come home.
Yeah. Yeah, and their facilities, I've heard, are just absolutely incredible.
Dude, there's nobody better.
Yeah.
There's some as good.
Yeah.
There's some as big or, as – I'm going to tell you something, man. That place shines 24 hours a day. They haven't wore the same uniform combo in like 8 years, man. Like
I remember whenever I was doing that.
It's different there.
I remember doing that video with Quandre Diggs, and I was asking him, where'd you want to go? And, there's some Bama talk and all that, but me and Quandre are the same age. And so he was like, man, it was hard not to think about Oregon. I was like, dude, Oregon was the cool school, man. Like, I know people get mad about jersey alts and stuff like that. Oregon, when they came on the scene and were getting some wins together, there was nobody cooler and flashier than Oregon.
Yeah.
Like, they were the guys, man. I remember that.
They made big plays on offense.
Yeah, it was a sexy offense. Yeah, it was. They
always had a running back that was going to do something.
Yeah, they had all the swag and everything.
When did that start? I want to say it was around the Joey Harrington era, the late 90s, early 2000s. Remember, Texas faced that Oregon team in the Holiday Bowl when Roy, BJ, and Sloan were freshmen. And if they didn't play like freshmen in the fourth quarter, they probably beat Oregon in that game. I want to say it kind of started around then, but then they got a lot of recruits that were kind of like under the radar. LaMichael James out of East Texas, LeGarrette Blunt.
Lake Seastrunk.
Lake Seastrunk. And then they landed the big 5-star, Jonathan Stewart. I think he was the number one running back in the class in the late 2000s, first-round pick of the Carolina Panthers. And so Oregon just kept building and kept building. I think the Chip Kelly gimmicky kind of offense thing was part of it. It was kind of part of what some of the other schools in that 2010s got popular with. Baylor being a great example.
Baylor came on during that period.
Baylor inherited – I mean, Baylor saw Oregon's plan when it came to not just that offense, because Browse was going to do that anyway, but the uniform stuff.
Yeah.
And changing all that kind of style. But, yeah, Oregon, let me tell you something. Oregon is a different place. If you hear a kid taking an official visit to Oregon, just make sure the ticket can come back.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd move up there. It's beautiful. Weather's unbelievable.
I hate the rain. And so it's like that level of rain and gloominess make me depressed quick. But did y'all see the story from practice this week that Chase Daniels tweeted out a couple hours ago? I am not aware. Kyle, if you want to fill us in, let me know, man.
Yeah.
All right. Napier is killing Lagway. I watched Florida versus USF 2 nights ago because I'm starting the Florida prep for when we play them. Their offense is a lot like ours, man. They're like really want to do pro style. The plays are actually there, but the quarterback doesn't make it. The quarterback's trying to force it. Man, the Florida offense and the Texas, and then they killer.
And the defense is good too.
Yeah, but killer penalties. Like they just shoot themselves in the foot at the wrong times. Like it's weird how similar the Florida and Texas offense are this year. It's pretty strange. I hate the Texas Sun. So do I, man. That's something that's God. I had to run today, and it was only like 10, and it was killing me, man. We have some more OU. I think they asked us about any thoughts on the OU game today. We talked about that up front, but how our offense matches up with their defense, not well, guys.
All brakes, no gas.
If I took my Texas fandom off and we were playing Texas and Texas had those numbers, their offense, Sam Houston's offense and Texas's offense have similar numbers. Just so I can be clear with you guys. Like, this is one of the worst offenses in the country. Not like it's bad. And so the only flip side is if it's a mental thing with Arch, that can theoretically leave as fast as it came.
Absolutely.
So that's a factor where things could change, but you're not going to go from one of the worst in the country to elite.
Right.
That's out of the question. And so, look, man, our offense doesn't match up well versus really any defense with how bad.
The reason OU is dangerous is because they're confident.
Yeah, they're very confident.
And in that Red River shootout, that carries some weight.
All the time.
It's almost the difference in being sustainable for 4 quarters because, again, it's not a football game as much as it is a fist fight.
Well, I remember warning, we had the 4 explosives in San Jose State. And everyone's like, what do you mean the offense played bad? We hit 4 explosives. And I was like, as soon as those explosives are taken away, this offense is going to look horrible. The next week, UTEP took the explosives away, and the offense looked horrible. So it's like we have to be consistent, guys. Like, I'm not saying this is a bad offense comparing it to Texas national championship attempt last year. I'm saying this is a bad offense in general in college football. So that's what needs to be fixed. And it's hard to say just defense carried us because football's changed, man. Paul had a good stat. 5 of the top 10 defenses last year lost 4 or more games. But the top 10 offenses, none of them lost more than 3. So actually in modern football, having an elite offense is actually more important than an elite defense. It's pretty wild. But also defense wins championships. What people leave out is that all those ones that win championships also have special offenses.
Do you know who wins championships? The better team.
That's what I was going to say. So what they leave out
always.
Crap, but I am tired of giving out participation trophies. It comes down to the better team. That's 99.9% of the time. I think the 2001 national championship or 02, whenever Ohio State beat Miami on that phantom PI call. That's the 0.1% of better team because that Miami team was a lot better than Ohio State. Aside from that team, the better team always wins. Ever since Nico Harrison traded Luka Doncic, I have retired the defense wins championships mess. And then I actually watched the Houston Rockets in the early 90s in the NBA, and that was another reason why defense did not win championships. The best team wins championships. And for this team, Texas, the best side of the ball is the defense once again. And all you can hope is they keep everything together, which they're so deep. They're playing 22, 23, 24 guys in games on that side of the ball. You keep that depth there, Arch will click. And when it does, the defense is already going to be rolling.
Yeah. So do I think it's coaching?
TED Talk. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. We are not.
I agree with you. It's really
championships anymore.
You know who wins championships? Like you said, over the overall best team. And most times they have a great offense and a great defense. That's why they win.
Usually a veteran quarterback that's had 2 years of experience. That's almost a guarantee.
Yeah. And they play good special teams on top of that. They win field position battles. So overall, they're really good in all 3 phases.
You know how important the quarterback is? Look at Bill Belichick right now.
Oof.
That's how important a quarterback is. Yeah. That dude is below 500 in life.
Yeah.
Without Tom Brady and Miss Hudson, of course.
Yep. So do I think it's coaching? Saban seemed to call it Sark. I don't watch pregame shows. I hate pregame shows, so I don't know if Saban said anything about Sark. But do I think it's coaching? Yes. I think everything ultimately goes. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Like like we said, we had 10 men on the goal line versus San Jose State. That's coaching, right? Offensive line not knowing what to do in zone. That's coaching. You got to know, your guys got to know what's up. Like if every part of the offense is struggling, which it is, it's coaching. It all goes back to coaching at the end of the day. So it's not like it's coaching fire everyone, but of course it's coaching. When one side of the ball now defense, y'all are good. Y'all can stay over there. Eric made a point. He was like, I don't know how this defense and offense are on the same team or in the same culture. It doesn't even make sense because, like, the defense is buttoned down. They don't make a ton of mistakes. Every guy plays hard. They know their assignment. Yes. And then you go watch the All-22 in offense, and you're like, geez, man. So, yeah, when I say coaching, I mean offensive side of the ball coaching. And, 2, it was coaching that we didn't take Portal in the O-line. It was coaching we didn't get a dynamic running back to give us some speed. That's coaching too in the offseason. There was key mistakes made that IT pounded the table for in the offseason. And so, of course, it's coaching. It almost always is. So that's a big factor.
If Drew Kelson were here, what he would say?
What?
He'd put it on the players.
Oh, most definitely.
Drew goes hard on the players.
I love that about Drew. That's something I respect so much about him. He just refuses to blame, even when the coaches are screwing up.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what? That's on the players are out there playing. That's on them. And I love that point from him because I think there's some validity to that every argument, every time. I think it's a collection. And to me, that's more coaching. It's not X's and O's, it's paralysis by analysis. It's too much. All it needs to be is one smooth stream. And the players and the coaches kind of got a job on that. So if Mr. Kelson was here, he'd say, you know what? Players got to put up their part too, especially now they're on a payroll. Now there's an accountability attached to you, no matter whether you like that or not. That's part of it. So I always got to give my inspirational Drew part into this and say, and I think you get to talk to him after the game. I hope he says something because he'll put it on the players. And I just love that perspective. Yeah.
Yeah. And no, I agree. But when it's every position room having trouble, it's like, okay, what's going on?
I'm with you.
And we're missing some big portal things that were just no-brainer portal addition. So, of course, it's coaching.
Always.
And so yeah, I am frustrated with the offensive coaching for sure. There's no question. And we got to score in the red zone, man. We're going on year 3, And then also, we're not scoring on opening drives, right? So the whole Sarkisian script is godlike, is not factual. So it's like, what are we doing? And, when we suck on third downs, that means you suck on first and second down. That means that your players aren't executing and or your play selection's not good. And it could be both. And so
we talked about in the offseason, you cannot put all this on Arch. And I felt like we've seen a little bit of that.
Everything's on his shoulders for a guy starting.
Yeah, he's taking a lot of that too, Coach.
Yeah.
Because kind of how he's wired.
Yeah.
And that's how he's going to learn. But that's something we had kind of talked about this whole offseason. We had reports saying, hey, Arch is going to be okay, but you cannot put this whole thing on him. That's kind of what I've seen.
I almost felt like Sark as the head coach, like, you're Arch Manning, you're good. It's like, no. You might hold his hand, Sark.
He needs to be coached.
Hold his hand too. Bring him on. Put the training wheels on. It's okay. Yeah. I feel like he need to even let go a little bit because he has this, right? He probably got to see it in practice every day. His confidence is all-time high as a coach too. Until, like, wait a minute, I should have brought him along slowly like I did everybody else. Like, but yeah, I don't know.
But here's my thing: with Arch looks fine in practice. Well, did the O-line look good in practice? Did the receivers look good in practice? And the running backs do? Well, if they look good in practice and none of them look good in the game, you got to change practice because you're not simulating properly.
Right, you're not.
You're not simulating it, and you can never match a game day environment. But if everyone always looks good in practice and doesn't look good on the field, you need to look at practice. And so that's a big thing too, man.
You know what's happening, Homer? Scout team. Stop trying to be superstars. Quit trying to stop us every day.
Bunch of tackling dummies out here, and now we think we're He-Man, and then we go play somebody with a pulse. So it's like, look at practice, and also look at red zone in practice because whatever we're doing, it's not working. And so that we need to look at practice because if I hear we have another great week of practice, dude, and then we come out.
If you say practice one more time, we're going to run the out.
I'm talking about practice. We're talking about practice.
Practice.
Not a game. Not a game. Practice. So that, I'm definitely frustrated with the offense, guys, if you could not tell. But guess what? In a couple minutes, we're not going to be stressed. Right. We're going to see 50 points go fly up on the board. Everyone's going to look good. You can eat your pizza and wings. You might even miss a few plays. Really focusing on the pizza and wings because it's going to be that smooth of a performance. Right, guys?
I hope so. I mean, look, we struggle on this one. I'm telling you.
I was going to stay silent and make
you're going to get the I don't know. It's going to be you're going to get a different Coach Dub going forward. It's going to be raw and unfiltered around here.
Funniest thing we've said tonight. I'm still waiting for my ESPN thing to click on because it will not start until 7:00 p.m.
Yeah. So if you guys can get on to SEC Plus Network, whatever.
I'm on that too, but it was supposed to be the app. Streaming the app was supposed to be the easier thing. So that's at least what I'm doing. Yep. Remember, I had to buy this stupid sub for last year when Texas played Mississippi State.
Yep. Yeah, they find a way to make you do it.
What did that game end up being? Northern Illinois was up on them in the first half.
I didn't watch it.
Did you see that? Yeah, Northern Illinois was winning that game in the first half.
Arkansas going down to Memphis was good at least.
And he fumbled in the goal line. Like, what in the world?
I know. Fumbled at they fumbled that was brutal for Arkansas. Just when people are like, man, that Taylor Green was looking good, and we should just always have to wait on Arkansas. We cannot do that to ourselves. Right. Quentin, I have YouTube TV. Is it going to be on YouTube TV?
It should be.
It should. Okay, cool. Because I have ESPN Plus too, but I didn't know if it was going to be on YouTube.
Texas won the toss, and guess what they did?
They took the ball.
Deferred.
They deferred. Okay, I'm good with it.
The tinkering. Okay.
I had to ladder something up pretty
Right.
quickly. This just happened like minutes ago, so they reacted to the text like real quick.
All right, everyone. Enjoy the game. Hopefully we can have a nice post game. We'll see. It'll be myself, Paul, and Drew. I'm already sleepy, so we'll see how I'm doing at 10 p.m. at night. But hopefully it's a good one. Rubble, I think you did a good job, man. We'll send your paycheck in the mail for everything on camera.
Hey, Rubble, you ready for the Horns? You ready to watch Texas? Oh. You ready to watch? Okay.
Oh, he got up for that one.
Yeah.
He's ready. He's ready. He's a good linebacker. He's really good, like tackling drills.
Yeah, he looks like he's got a low center of gravity.
He is, man. He helps my son with his tackling because I'm like, if you can hit this 100-pound piece of meat, and it teaches Alexander's got to get low because these dogs have low center of gravity. So whenever like 10 years, you see my kid cutting everyone out from the bottom at safety, you don't know why.
Yeah. You've been training them, getting them ready. All right, guys, this was the pregame show. Let's go get a dub. And this was brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Later, everyone.